Welcome to HoodWave Radio, and this is your host Daniel Hood, and you're about to listen to pre-recorded and live broadcasting. And if you want to find out more, please go to our website at www.hoodwave.org. Again, that is www.hoodwave.org. Hey everyone, this is HoodWave Radio, and this is your host Daniel Hood, and you're listening to WFNU Frog-town Community Radio in St. Paul. And I am with Scott and Conor from Conor's Corner, and here are some of the highlights for 2021. The goals and dreams for 2021. My music interests are rock, electronic, folk, and bluegrass, and many others. And also discussing HoodWave online radio. And now, please enjoy the show.
All right, so I'm Scott, and as you already know, Daniel, and you know Conor, and we just thought we'd do another show and talk about some goals and dreams for 2021 for these guys. We're going to talk a lot about their goals and dreams, and also some goals and dreams for other people with disabilities, and kind of the struggles and everything that people with disabilities go through, and some of their wants and needs, and then we'll have some fun and talk movies and sports and music and kind of close with a bunch of fun stuff, see what happened for the New Year's and all that good stuff. Sound good, guys?
Yeah, it sounds good.
Is that what you were going to say, Daniel? Pretty much?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. So let's first, I think we should start with you, because this is your baby, so to speak. Do you want to explain a little bit about your show, your state? It's really a station. It's not just a radio show, but HoodWave Disability Radio. Maybe just a little bit about it, and maybe some of your plans for it and the future.
Yeah. It's this is one of my biggest dreams, is to actually having it aired 24 hours, 7 days a week.
Yeah. What kind of shows do you want to have on it?
Podcasts, shows,
you're pretty much all centered around people with disabilities, right?
Yes.
Yeah, awesome. And then Conor, everyone knows you, but for those of you who don't know, you have your own show, right, dude?
I have my own show, Conor's Corner, 10 a.m. on Monday mornings.
Yeah, so
It's
tell
replayed on Saturdays.
It is. I've been on that show once or twice.
Yep.
So what do you have? How do you have fun? Like what are some fun things you do in your show that maybe like other shows that are going to be airing on Daniel's network?
I laugh. You
do laugh. Today we did a show and you laughed quite a bit. Not sure why, but you did, right?
Yep.
So why did you want to do your show though? Explain a little bit about that. We won't talk about your goals yet, but why
like to do my show because it's amazing to other people. They want to listen to it.
Yeah, and you also want to be a role model for other people with disabilities, right?
Yep.
And Daniel, that's how kind of you always had this vision, right? That this is what you wanted to do, correct?
Yes. And
then you found Conor doing it. And did that help to kind of speed up your process, or did that just kind of give you the not courage is the wrong word, but just kind of get you saying, hey, there's this stuff like this out here. Let's get going. Is that kind of your thought process, or how did you decide to finally go forward with this?
It gave me the drive to do it.
Nice.
And also being able to, it's actually providing, hosts a chance to being able to produce their, grow their audience and productivity.
Yeah. So are you, how are you, now this is very new, so you're just getting this going and this show is part of it, but how are you going to reach out? Do you have a plan on how you're going to reach out to people yet, or host, or working on all that?
I'm not sure exactly, but that is the reason why I had joined the station, and the reason why I joined Conor's Corner is because I'm not sure exactly how to do it. So I thought if I can get get involved and just having a good time doing it. That's
Right. Yeah, no, that makes sense. And Connor, maybe so do you have any advice for people out there, Connor, that want to do their own show, especially people with disabilities and that maybe are, never thought they could do it or always wanted to, or what advice do you have? Because you've done this over a year now. You're pretty good at it, pretty entertaining. Some people like you. Do you have any advice for people?
Yeah, I have good advice. I like the advice.
When you're done yawning, you want to give some advice?
I like advice for people.
No, can you give some advice, dude?
I like the advice that I'm giving right now.
Oh, go ahead. What is it?
Number one, be yourself.
100%.
Number two, be smart.
Okay.
Number three, be vigilant.
Right. So do you mean to have a plan together?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm assuming maybe at the end of this, Daniel, you'll give away people could maybe who see this reach out to you if they want to get on your station and your show. Now, the cool thing about you, Daniel, is you know how to do a lot of the behind the scenes work, don't you? Or you're learning?
I'm learning.
Yeah. So why does that interest you? It's awesome. It's more than I can do.
It gives me a chance to actually work on the computer. Tell you the truth, I've been trying to go to school for it, but I figured, I like doing things on my own. That's one of the main reasons why I'm doing it. And
you have your own little studio there that I think does your dad built you, or did you build that with your dad or something like that?
My dad actually built the booth. It's actually a box. And
okay.
But I definitely, one of my goals is to actually have a booth that is the ones I'm looking at, professional ones that, that you can actually purchase.
Yep.
They're not cheap.
Sure. Right.
If you kind of want the cheap end, if you want one that has all the bells and whistles,
yep,
$15,000.
Holy cow!
It's a studio. It's put it together. That's one of the things. For one thing, in my apartment, it's so noisy. I thought I was going to have to knock on the neighbors to tell them to.
Noisy neighbors.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's what it's like living next to Connor. Connor, are you noisy?
Yeah.
Do your neighbors ever knock and say, "Hey, can you keep it down?"
They never do.
Because you're a big loud dude. So the behind the scenes definitely interests you. So when you get this really up and running, Daniel, do you see yourself really just running the studio or having a show too, or what are some of your goals? And maybe we're going to talk about your personal goals for both of you guys for 2021, but do you have like a business goal? Do you have one goal for your business that you want to talk about?
The major goal is to do this full time. This is what I want to do. I guess I don't want to be, I like my job. I don't mind pushing carts, but that's not what I want to do.
That's not your passion. Your passion is radio.
My passion is radio. I want to be able to give people, not just people with disabilities, but just being able to give them something that's never been done before, or at least on the scale.
It's awesome. I think one thing too that I would say is what you want to do is definitely very difficult. I mean, it's a difficult task. It's very hard to start something from scratch. If something, like you said, really hasn't been done. So I would just tell you, don't get discouraged. It's nothing's easy. That's for sure. So keep plugging away. My gut is that one day you'll have exactly what you want.
Yeah. One of the major goals is to actually get some grants and being able to find a way to being able to advertise. That's been my problem for years. When I had tried to ask for money, I'm sorry, but you're not a nonprofit. We can't help you. And so I've had that roadblock for almost 7 years.
So you're interested in maybe starting your own nonprofit too?
Yeah. What's interesting? The name that I got, HoodWave Disability Radio, is actually registered to the Minnesota Secretary of State.
Oh.
But I made a mistake not realizing when I first did it that you also have to apply at the to the IRS.
Oh, so you registered it?
Well, I basically the name to the Secretary of State, but
Okay.
it's not a nonprofit by the IRS. And
Right.
so it's not a 501c3. And
Okay.
when I had asked for money, they
Sure.
told me no.
Okay,
They couldn't
so
help me.
yeah, so your goal is to fix that and become a nonprofit, and might be easier for you to raise some money.
That's exactly that's one of the reasons why I joined the station. The reason why I
Right.
thought maybe Conor might be able to help me. Maybe
Sure.
it's not necessarily the financial. It's just the fact that people are knowing who Conor is, and so I wanted to get my name out there.
Oh, absolutely.
Getting my
And,
face, putting a face to the name.
yeah, and hey, Connor, just in case people don't know, what is the name of that radio station?
Honor's Corner,
Well, what's it on?
94.1 FM.
WFNU, Frog-town
Oh.
Community. Should we do it like we do on your show?
Yeah.
All right, here's now I've got to back up and remember how we do this. You were on WFNU
90.41 LP.
Frog-town Community Radio. There we go. I know we need our buddy Scott who calls in your show. He's got it down perfect. So how is it for you, Connor, to be on that radio station? All the things they've done for you.
It's cool. My dream to do is my own radio show, and it popped up to be a success.
Yeah, and how's the radio station helped you think?
It's going good.
But they've helped you. They've given you a voice, right?
I'm on Zoom.
I thought he was going to hit you with it. Was that a guitar he was carrying? I thought he was going to hit you with it.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Well, what I was going to say, this isn't going to be good. We got this live on the air. Should we talk? So it's 2020's done. I don't think anyone's that disappointed about it.
No.
Let's talk about 2021. Let's talk maybe some personal stuff. So basically, just recapping, your goal business-wise, Daniel, is to maybe turn this into a nonprofit, get this off the ground, get some people out there and get some shows, on your network. It'll run 24 hours and go from there and see where it goes, which I think you can do.
Yeah. But like I said, it's open. It's open that people can actually air on HoodWave Disability Radio.
So, so before we get on to your personal goal, so explain that. So what can you, maybe just quickly, what can you provide? Let's just say I have a podcast I want to bring to you. What can you provide? You'll provide me what?
Okay. You have a podcast.
Yes.
And so you want to air it. So HoodWave Disability Radio will also, what they'll do, what HoodWave Disability Radio will do is provide you a password and username to go on the air.
Okay.
And so I'm going to be giving you the ability to being able to stream on the internet.
Nice. Okay.
And so I don't necessarily want to, well, for one thing, it's very hard for people with disabilities to being able to have that kind of business where I'm finding out that you have to pay for these services. And so I thought, well, when it comes to nonprofits, of say, for an example, it's Conor's Corner, giving them ability to being able to air without having to work, trying to find a station to air. And so it's not just, it's for a whole bunch of organizations. For example, this is just an example. It's like the Arc, Minnesota. I provide them the password. They have their own podcast, and so they want to air it. They'll be able to air it.
Okay.
So, yeah. So if they have the ability to record their broadcast, they will be able to do that and save it, and also be able to air it on HoodWave Disability Radio.
Okay, so very interesting. Okay, and then we'll maybe at the end we'll tell people how they can get a hold of you and maybe answer some questions. You know what I think too would be helpful, you two guys, because as you both know, it's pretty easy for Conor, but it's not that easy just to have your own podcast or radio show and talk. Maybe down the road you guys could train some people with disabilities and show them, it seems like a good idea, but sometimes you need a little help doing it. And some people get nervous talking. And I think you two could definitely help with that. What do you think, Conor?
So, Daniel, are you going to the studio and doing it?
Well, actually, that's actually one of my goals.
All right, let's talk about it.
Well, thank you, Connor. It's one of my goals. One of my goals is actually going to WFNU and being able to, air it.
Nice. So you want to run the board and all that good stuff. And there's a rumor, and I don't know if it's fake news, that the three of us might be in the studio together at some point down the road doing this very thing, which would be awesome.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Okay. Connor started it, but I don't know. I'm just kidding. No, we're more than willing.
And right now it's talk, but it hasn't been official yet. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on.
Well, Connor and I know the password, so we can get you in. Right, Connor? Don't say it out loud, Connor. Yeah, I think it'd be awesome because part of the bad thing, well, there's many bad things like COVID, but Connor and I are on the same page. Not big Zoom fans. We don't really love Zoom. We love to be together and talk together, and I think the three of us together would have fun. Connor, give me one or two of your goals and dreams for 2021.
My goal, one of my goals is to be a better person.
You're an awful good person now, but okay, so you want to be a better person. Do you think you can do that? Can you do that?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you have another one before we get another one from Daniel?
My goal is to help people.
Help people, yeah. So I think you and Daniel both are helping people. His station and your show, it's pretty awesome the way you guys are helping people. We're starting to help people. That's great. What, do you have another goal and dream, Daniel? You want to talk about personal?
Oh, one of the personal ones that I want to do is basically getting out in the community. This is a real good example. It's going to parks.
Yeah.
Spending time with family. Being able to go to the science museum and being able to breathe the air
without a mask.
Without a mask, yes. Well, with the mask, you can't hardly breathe at all.
No, I know. That's I'm with you. I don't do well with the mask. Any other personal ones, and I'll get back to Connor.
Well, I said spending time with family.
Sure.
Or spending time with my wife is one of the major goals that I got.
And your wife works too? Is that what you told us before?
Yes, she does.
Awesome. Did you work similar hours, or you she's working, you're working, or?
Yeah. So I work during the day, and she works in the afternoon, evenings.
Oh, okay.
What does she do?
She works at the Star Tribune.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's funny you said that because Connor must have said the word Star Tribune about 30 times today on the show. Really? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Connor, what do you have any more goals?
What is your
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Connor.
What does your wife do at the Star Tribune?
Oh, what does my wife do?
Yeah.
Basically, she puts puts newspapers together.
Oh.
I'm not sure exactly how she does it, but yeah, she likes it, but it is challenging. She's definitely have said that.
Yeah, that probably gets tiring. Connor, do you have any other goals you haven't shared with us? 2021?
No. Stop picking.
Stop picking. So let's talk about that. I mean, this is a show with people with disabilities, about people with disabilities. What does that mean? If you don't mind saying.
We need to stop picking.
So one of your habits is you kind of pick at your skin, huh?
Yeah.
Part of your disability and part of your habits, and you're going to try to stop doing that.
Yeah.
So if I'm sitting by you and I see you do it, should I take a ruler and hit you over the head, or
No.
Do we have a plan?
Don't do anything like that.
Do we have a plan for this? If I'm near you?
Yeah, baby.
I pinch you?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So what's up? So let's talk. We're going to talk a little bit more serious, and then we're going to talk about some fun stuff. So one of the big issues with people with disabilities, and you guys have sort of already touched on it, is jobs. Not only creating jobs and finding jobs, but Connor, can you have a couple jobs, but they're very part-time, right?
Yeah, I have lunch 1 day a week, and I have cord 2 days a week, Wednesday and Friday.
Right. But there's and I don't know the numbers, so I don't want to say it. I mean, I can't remember the number, but there's a very high rate of, unemployment with people with disabilities. Daniel, you were off work for a while and sort of had trouble finding one. How do you think you guys, and I know you don't have all the answers, but is there any ways you guys can think of or some helpful hints for people with disabilities to maybe find some jobs, or do we need to create um, some resources for that? How can we help this problem? Because it's a bad problem. And, I know Connor would like to go to the same job every day. Maybe he's grateful for what the jobs he has, but I'm sure it makes you feel good, Daniel, to be able to go to the same place. But like you said, it wasn't exactly what you wanted to do. You guys have any ideas on how we can maybe help this problem?
Have the Congress pass a $2,000 stimulus check
For people with disabilities.
Yes.
So that's interesting. So do you guys, people with disabilities aren't getting those checks?
They're not. They should be.
Yeah, you're right. Daniel, do you have any thoughts?
I'm not sure exactly. Well, for one thing, when it comes to my wife and I think it's because we are a couple, and the fact that, because I've actually received the one before. And
Okay.
It was because we were married. It was, so much,
Sure.
per couple, and we got it the last time. So I guess it depends on the disability. It depends how much you're working.
Okay. So that help, that's an awesome thing that helps part-time, but I mean, that's down the road, even with COVID gone. I mean, it's still very difficult to get jobs. So any thoughts, ideas, anything that you two want to maybe please, any companies, or, I mean, I guess I'm searching for the right word. I don't know what they are, but being two people that are, with disabilities, the job scene, anything that you think might be helpful. Maybe it's not out there, but Daniel, do you have any thoughts on, is there like a wish list, or what in your head would be, hey, this would be really cool if we had this to help get jobs?
I really don't have, I tell you the truth, I really don't have the answers to that.
Okay, that's fair.
It's one of those things, it's basically the government. They make these, regulations. And so a lot of companies, I don't think a lot of companies are aware of what we are capable of doing. So
Absolutely.
I think there are limitations on that. I mean,
So you think, so they just think you have a disability, so you can't do anything. You're not bright. Connor says that all the time. Connor, how many times do you say that people with disabilities are smart? Right?
Yeah, I see that. I say that a lot.
Yeah, and it's true. And sometimes you just need a chance, right, Daniel?
Yeah. Well, for an example, with me,
Yeah.
with the job I got,
Okay.
I actually like it.
Sure.
When I first got it, I wasn't sure about it. Then
Okay.
the more I did it, the more I liked it. For one thing, I'm 44 years old. So when I first did it, oh my God, I thought I was going to die.
You're out of shape.
Yeah. And so, so I've had the job for about 3 weeks. And the more that I work on it, I guess, I guess the supervisors are saying that I'm working hard.
Yeah. What do you like about it? Do you like that you're dealing with customers? You're just out and about? Do you just like the fact that you're working? Do you like dealing with customers, people?
Well, I do like the fact that, say that somebody needs help lifting salt in the car.
Sure.
It's those salt pellets. And I had helped a few people put a couple of toilets in there.
Nice.
One time with a big door. And it was one door, because it's, that's one thing when I'm pretty good at saying, oh, if this is too heavy, I don't trust myself with it.
Yeah.
And sometimes, so I'm realizing that sometimes what you have to do, because, I'm pretty smart. So all I have to do is just basically tell the manager, I can't do it. It's too heavy. There's too much glass. I don't, because where I work, it sounds like if you break it, they take money out of your paycheck.
Oh, that's not good.
Break it. So they got so if it's something I don't believe that I can handle, I'll tell them that I don't trust myself. I need assistance.
Smart. Yeah. Well, this guy we're sharing the screen with, nobody loves people and loves to make friends more than this guy. Connor, what do you love about your jobs?
I like it. I like my job because it's smart.
Okay. You got to be smart.
I like to work at Parkway because I like to visit people.
Yeah. I mean, no one loves talking to people more than you. So you love, and then Lunds and Byerly's, you're out and about. There's people all around.
Yeah, people know me.
Everyone knows you. That's what you do. You enjoy making some money?
Yeah, I enjoy making money, making a
That's
lot of money and such and
okay.
such.
All right, so Dan, you ready to have some fun? Let's
Hey,
have some fun questions. Did you watch a movie or video or anything over Christmas that you didn't think you'd ever watch, or did you find yourself watching some weird thing or listening to some weird thing if you're listening to music instead or podcasts? Either one of you.
Well, I've over Christmas I've watched. I don't know.
All right, we'll go to Daniel. That's fine. Daniel, anything over the break that you found yourself watching that you or listening to, whatever?
not really. I've been watching Forensic Files.
Oh,
It's about science and about how basically how crime is how to be able to solve crime.
wow.
It's yeah, Leah and I both actually enjoy that. It's
So interesting. So they show the crime and then they show how they try to figure out who did it.
how did it basically with chemicals and how to see blood with lights and a whole bunch of cool stuff.
Wow, well, that's pretty awesome. All right, do you have a favorite movie? Either one of you two?
Polar Express.
Polar Express. Okay.
What's
Dan?
yours, Daniel?
No, it's interesting. I really don't have a favorite movie.
That's fine.
Wow, well, now I'm lost for words.
It wasn't. The question wasn't meant to stump you. Don't worry. Wasn't the hardest question.
No, it's not.
No, I'm just kidding.
but
You don't
I
have to have a
do-
favorite movie.
It's not necessarily okay. It's not a movie. It's actually a TV series.
That's fine. We can go with that.
Say Doctor Who.
Oh,
Oh, you like that, Connor?
yeah. I haven't heard of it until he told me.
what was that noise for?
Excited.
Yeah, he got excited. Well, maybe he'll put that on. All right. So you've listened to Connor's show, and he listens to all kinds of music. I mean, we got Elvis. He's got Bruce Springsteen. Lots. Do you have what kind of music? I don't know if I've ever asked you this. What kind of music do you like, Daniel?
I like electronic music. I
Oh
even
yeah,
some folk music.
folk music. Nice.
There was that one song I know for a fact you guys he was just singing it. It was about that ship.
Oh, the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
From
record-
Gordon Lightfoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually what's interesting is now as you got this, I heard you sing it. I heard you sing this once before, but it didn't have the music behind it, and you were singing it, and it's like I know that song. And then,
Interesting.
and then 3 weeks later, 2 or 3 weeks later, you sang it today,
Yeah.
and oh boy! And then I called my dad. I called my old man and asked him about it, and
Interesting.
so yeah, he said that it sank 2 weeks before my parents' wedding.
Yeah, it wasn't a very happy ending, but
No,
2 weeks before, really?
So it was like November 10th. I think I looked it up. It's November.
Wow. Well, your parents are still
1975.
married, so that's good.
And then my parents got married in November 22nd, 1975.
Wow. So you like folk music? You like Bob Dylan?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
don't know.
I'm more like Peter Paul, Mary, John.
Oh, John Denver.
Denver more than I know. For one thing, my dad listened to that a lot.
Sure. Oh yeah. No, I totally get that. Well, we can, Connor, put down a little. Maybe you'll get a Peter Paul and Mary song for next week for your buddy here. Yeah. So I'm assuming one day COVID's going to be over. Let's just say July 1st, COVID is done.
Yes.
No mask, nothing. Daniel, and I'm going to ask Connor next. What's the first thing you're going to do? Assuming you don't have to work.
Well, I'm gonna have a blast. I'm just thinking on a weekend when I got nothing to do.
Okay.
probably go to the zoo.
Nice.
So yeah, no, this because my wife and I we really haven't been done. We haven't.
Yeah,
really
no,
done stuff. I mean, even before the COVID, because I had a little bit of depression, so I didn't really
sure.
do much because I wasn't working. So I
Yep.
was unemployed for 2 years, and that kind of. Well, you get it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, let me ask you a question though. So, and it's not, it's, you don't want to answer, you don't have to, but so you're good with depression's much better now. You're handling things.
Well,
You're
I
seeing
can handle it. I can handle it pretty good.
good. Okay.
I basically what I do when I have depression. I mean,
Sure.
I do believe in a higher power.
Okay.
If there's a God, and so
Yep.
I focus on that, and
Yeah.
so I try not to put my trying to go down.
Right. Well, and you have a lot of exciting things though to look forward to too. You've got this radio station dream of yours that you're trying. You've got a radio show that you've always wanted to do. You've got a wife, you got a job. So yeah, you have some pretty cool things going on. So I guess whenever you feel down, you just think of all the stuff you do have, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it seems simple, but
it's pretty simple. I guess you could say I want to be financially independent.
yeah,
And
that's
the fact that
tough.
I have no. Believe it or not, I don't know what this HoodWave display is going to do. I have no
Sure.
idea. I mean, I could end up being a millionaire. I have no.
Sure.
I mean,
Just when you are, remember us.
I don't want to be a millionaire.
You don't want to be a millionaire.
I don't mind the idea of having money.
Okay.
It's not the issue.
Interesting.
I want to be happy.
Yeah,
But, there's a lot of people with money that are not happy.
absolutely.
There's a lot of people without money that are not happy. But
Okay, so I'm going to ask you both. I'm going to save this question, Connor, because I'm going to come back to this. Connor, what's the first thing June? I think I said June 1st. COVID's done. No more masks. Dr. Fauci's in Hawaii. We don't have to hear from him. What's the first thing you want to do?
Go to a restaurant.
I know, go to a restaurant. We might be able to do that earlier, but go to a restaurant,
Yeah.
no restrictions. Say hi to everyone, right?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay. Daniel, Connor, I just handed you $1 million. Connor, you go first. What are you going to do with the money?
Oh yeah. I'd buy a house on the ocean.
A house on the ocean. I would absolutely live with you in a house on the ocean. I love the ocean. Okay. Anything else?
No.
Okay, that's fine.
Can you buy cabins on the ocean?
Sure. I mean, it's $1 million. You can do whatever you want. All right. So Daniel, I know you just said you don't need money to be happy, and I agree with you. You don't, because you can be very happy. But I just handed you $1 million. What do you think you're going to do?
what am I going to do? I would buy a house. I mean, I would buy a nice house.
Okay.
Fix upper.
Sure.
I won't buy something that's falling apart.
No, I agree.
Anyway, I would. What's the word? It's
Victorian. Oh, so you even know the style you want.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
An older house. From the 1940s.
Sure. Like Summit Avenue has all those beautiful houses.
Right.
Okay.
Are they probably $1 million?
Well, let's just say we'll get it. We'll get a good realtor. We'll get one for $1 million. Okay. But he doesn't have to spend $1 million. Okay.
So I don't really, I just want to have a house.
Okay.
Just enough. I guess you could say I don't want to live like I have money. So if you always, that's one of my things is that I don't want to look at, because if somebody knows you got money, then you can be in trouble.
Okay, so I get it. So I get what you're saying. So it's not that you don't want to have money and be secure and all that stuff. But you just want to be respectful. You want to have enough to live your life, and you don't want to, use the money in the wrong ways, and you don't want people to assume things because you have money, right?
Right.
That's what you're saying. Awesome.
And for one thing, if I had millions of dollars, I would, help the communities. I would.
I believe that.
Help, Connor's Corner. I would.
Sure.
Things like that would, but I would give it a lot of it away. But I would, still would, be able to have a house and being able to, to live happy.
Yeah. Okay. And then Connor, let's just say you had a little money left over from that house that you bought on the ocean. What would you do with it?
I would buy a big boat.
A boat. Nice.
and go cruising around the ocean.
Hey, do you know how to drive a boat though?
Yeah.
No, seriously, do you know how to drive a boat?
Yeah, I know how to drive a boat.
I'm going to ask this one more time. Tell the truth. Do you know how to drive a boat?
Nope.
See? Because I was about to get in that boat with you in the ocean. We could be like Gilligan's Island. I don't know where you and I would end up. We would be just stranded. It'd be a whole different show, although no one would know where we are. All right. Well, since this is our first show of the year and we're going to do some more, is there anything else you guys, before we wrap up here, anything else you guys want to talk about? Anything else 2021, things you're thankful for? I'll let Connor, you go first and we'll finish with Daniel.
I'm thankful for the 2020 being over.
Yes, I think we can all. It was a weird year, but you guys met, so it wasn't. There was a few nice things about Connor had his show. Kind of you, Dana, you had your first set of shows, so it wasn't all bad. 2020, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then Daniel, anything you want to say in closing?
To think positive, to be positive, to think positive, and not always be negative all the time.
Right, there's a lot of negative people.
There's a lot of negative, and that's one of the things that I want to do personally. Is that you have to not focus on the past. You know, like I said, well, to tell you, I've been beat up. I've been through hectic. I've been through a lot of stuff. And
because of your disability?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
And so it wasn't just me; it was also my family. My brother's been beat up because of me.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah. So the one thing that I need to do now is just trying to think positive and not to always focus, because I think that's the other thing with Connor's Corner, and especially with Seamus, trying to be positive and not always focus on, because if you always think of focus on the negativity brings negativity, and it drags you down. And so
absolutely. Yeah, no, that's one of the I mean, obviously I'm biased, but that hour that Connor's on, you find yourself laughing and you're singing and that's an hour where there's no negativity. It's just what you just said, don't you think? And it's probably one of the reasons that you love watching the show and listening to the show. And now you're doing that too. Like, when we do these shows, we're going to give some info, we're going to have some fun, and maybe people just take a little break from all the negativity, like you said. It's a lot, it's not that hard to be nice and enjoy yourself, right?
Talking that to the president.
The president?
He doesn't want to be nice.
Mr. Trump?
Yeah.
Well, I think you only have a few more weeks where you got to worry about him. So Daniel, before we close, do you want to give out how people can get a hold of you?
Oh yeah.
Let's do that.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
So you can go to www.hoodwave.org, and you can go into my contact page. You can, find me, email me or us. And so you can definitely do that.
And if you haven't found this show will be on WFNU on Sunday at 3, I believe. 3 o'clock on Sunday, Central Time. And then we're going to do these every few weeks, every once a month. Maybe eventually we'll all be in the studio together. And we'll, each week we'll try to get you each show, I should say, we'll try to get you some info on the struggles and the cool things that are going on with people with disabilities. And then talk about these guys. These guys have fun lives. And as Daniel said, and Connor says all the time, we're going to bring some positivity and just make people feel good. Because there's really no better feeling than that, right, guys?
Absolutely.
Awesome. All right. Well, until next time, we will see you later.
See you later.
Yeah, and thank you. And this is HoodWave District Radio and WFNU Frog-town Community Radio. HoodWave Disability wants to thank you for taking interest in our podcast. And if you are interested in finding out more, please contact us at www.hoodwave.org. Again, that is www.hoodwave.org. You may also write to us and tell us your story at hoodwave.radio@gmail.com. Again, that is hoodwave.radio@gmail.com. You may also check out our blog at www.self-advocacytoday.com. Again, that is www.self-advocacytoday.com.